Pledge of Allegiance, I'd like to ask our student board member, Kylie Ragland, representing Shadow Hills High School, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call will reflect that all board members and cabinet members are present. Approval of the minutes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of January 16th, 2024?
So moved, Horace.
Is there a second?
Second, Pierce.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call for the question. Preferential vote?
Aye.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 5-0 with one preferential vote. Board meeting addenda. Dr. May Volmar, is there any addenda to tonight's agenda?
Yes, there is. We will be removing the college and career indicator presentation due to staff illness, and it'll be presented at the next board meeting.
Approval of agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda of the regular meeting of February 6, 2024?
Second. Albert.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call for the questions. Preferential vote?
Aye.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries 5-0 with one preferential vote. Community and staff recognition. Dr. May Volmar.
We do not have any this evening.
Introduction of new or recently promoted employees. We have none. Board and superintendent comments. Ms. Ragland.
I just wanted to say happy National Counselors Week, and thank you everyone for being here tonight.
Mr. Duran.
Yeah, too. I'd like to take this moment to just thank all the counselors and all the staff that works with our students in the mental health department and throughout the district and throughout the nation. And I want to give them a thanks for National Counselors Week today. Thank you.
Horace.
Yes, I second that. And we have an awesome counselor here. I mean, he doesn't work for our district, but he's a great counselor. But we do appreciate all the counselors. They really do awesome work for our students and our staff. I just want to say that I attended the Riverside County Office of Education Greater Coachella Valley Student of the Month Awards, and I just want to acknowledge and congratulate our Desert Sands students that were chosen. From Amistad, Alakai, I'm not sure if that's right, Alakai, or is it right? Gamboa, Horizon, Matilda Garcia, Indio High School, Ryan Zamora, La Quinta High School, Adeline Goodnow, Palm Desert High School, Kobe Christensen, Shadow Hills, Ictali Natividad, and Summit Jaime Lopez. Dr. Watson and I visited Madison Jackson, La Quinta High School, John Glenn, and Colonel Mitchell Page last week. And today I went to the La Quinta Middle School. Nutrition Services had created opportunities for our students to taste foods where we are considering to implement them into our school menus. There were about 200 students that attended from Truman and La Quinta Middle. There was a wide variety of tasty and nutritious foods that were made available to the students to try and vote for. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they chose because there was a lot of really good food out there. So, and anyway, that's all. Thank you.
I just want to echo the sentiments of my colleagues up here about our counselors and the great work that they're doing. Also want to just acknowledge the efforts of our after-school programs. You know, there's many activities that are taking place. It takes a lot to coordinate, and looking forward to some partnerships with our neighboring districts as we look to bridge the community. It's a small community, and as we partner with the other districts to maybe have some after-school activities, looking forward to that endeavor. Also want to just acknowledge the effort that goes into planning all those activities after school. So thank you to our ELOP and our ACES programs. I just want to make sure that they're noted, and the work that goes into the LCAP process. So I want to had the privilege of attending the past meeting, and there's a lot of work that goes into it, not only during the meetings, but just behind the scenes and all the planning to make sure that the voices of our community are being heard. So I just want to say thank you to those who are working on that, and I know it's a lot of work. Just thank you.
Last month, I was able to attend the district spelling bee, and out of probably 20 kids between elementary and middle school, there was a first place winner was, I don't have her name, but it was a student from Palm Desert Charter Middle School, and the second runner-up was from Washington Charter School. So that was really exciting to listen to the difficult words that they had practiced for, and they were excited to be there. And sad to see the ones that had to leave the stage, but they were good sports. Also, I was involved in the LCAP, third LCAP meeting. I think we have one more where we go over the LCAP and we learn more about the different goals and how we can look into it and make the best changes for it. And I know we're having a presentation on that tonight. So thank you.
I also want to say thank you to our counselors and appreciate everything that you do. In addition to the site visits I did with Ms. Porras, I also visited Monroe Elementary. And then I also attended the math night through the ELOP with my two youngest sons. And I thought it was a really great turnout, and I was really appreciative of all the effort that went into that. The kids had fun. Everybody that I knew that was there enjoyed it, and it was especially nice that they provided dinner, and it wasn't just a snack, and so everybody could have dinner and enjoy themselves and learn something new at Math Night.
Yes, just want to acknowledge that February is African American History Month, and want to take that opportunity to thank our African American Parent Advisory Committee and the work that they do in supporting the students in our district. Really appreciate them. And as it has been mentioned, it is National School Counselors Week. And Mr. Duran, we want to, in addition to our amazing counselors in Desert Sands and all that they want to do, highlight the work that you do as a counselor. I know that you are very well respected, and students appreciate so much the support that you provide them. So thank you for the work you do every day, even though you do work for another district. But you couldn't be a board member if you didn't, so I guess that's okay. It's also February 10th is when we celebrate Lunar New Year, also known by some as Chinese New Year. And this is a really special time for our family because my youngest is Chinese, and so we celebrate this every year. But I wanted to extend a wish of happiness and prosperity to all of our families of Chinese descent that we'll be celebrating. And then the food tasting today was absolutely amazing. Not just that the food was good, but I think seeing our students have an opportunity to have a voice in what they're going to get to eat, I think is really powerful and very special. So I was happy about that. Additionally, we had a great robotics competition that was put on by our technology department last weekend right here in the boardroom, and so that was really exciting. I want to thank them for all their hard work. Tiffany Norton, our Chief Innovation and Information Officer, sitting in the back there. So thank you to you and your tech squad for all you did to make that happen. And then I really special treat at the Firebirds hockey game on Saturday night. The Washington Charter Elementary School students sang in front of the entire arena, which I just thought they were spectacular, but so brave as well, because that is a lot of people, and they did a great job. And then I just want to congratulate as well our Personnel Services Division. They had a job fair this last Saturday. I know a lot of the principals helped out with that, and different directors. But I just want to say especially thank you to Dr. Hyde for you and your team. Really stellar job. And I know that's going to make all the difference in us being able to fill positions for this next school year. So.
Public comment on open session items. Communications from the floor in accordance with the bylaws of the board, number 9323. Time is reserved for oral communications by members of the Board of Education or by citizens. Citizens wishing to be heard on agenda items, regular or special meetings, and or non-agenda items within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board, regular meetings only, shall have a 3-minute limit. A total of 20 minutes will be reserved for public comment on each item. The board president, with the concurrence of the board, may extend this time if deemed appropriate due to the number of citizens who wish to speak on an item. In accordance with the law, the board cannot take action on any matter not appearing on the agenda, as indicated by bylaws of the board number 9232.2. Individual speakers shall be allowed 3 minutes to address the board on each agenda, regular or special meeting, or non-agenda item, regular meeting. The board shall limit the total time for public input on each item to 20 minutes. Please be advised that there is a possibility that some items discussed during public comment will not be developmentally appropriate for minors. We ask that parents use their discretion when choosing to remain in the boardroom during public comment. If you choose to leave the room, you may wait in the overflow location at the end of the hallway, and you will be notified when public comments have concluded. We have one online comment from Michelle Valise. Please consider allowing guide dogs of the desert on campuses. I am a GDD puppy raiser and would like to be able to continue to bring a puppy 3 months to 2 years to school. The dog is kept restricted at all times, either in a kennel, tie down, or leash. The dog does not interfere with teaching. Often the benefit is to the child who needs comfort by just sitting next to the dog while they read. When the dogs are on campus, children are exposed to working dogs, not pets. These dogs are bred to work and are calm around fire alarms and chaos. I ask the parents to sign a liability release document at the beginning of school. So our first public comment is Mana Nalades. Am I saying that right? For this public comment, we will be giving 6 minutes due to the request of a translator. Mana, M-A-N-A. Oh, is it Maria? Okay. Maria Nalades? Oh, V. Mm-hmm.
Dr. Dunn, you may want to have the students wait outside. Yes, please.
Buenas noches, miembros del board. Mi nombre es María Valadez.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Maria Valadez.
Soy mamá del estudiante Yerick Silva, que va en la escuela DRA.
I'm the mom of a student whose name is Yerick Silva. He is a student at Desert Ridge Academy.
Soy miembro de la iglesia de San Francisco en La Quinta, con aproximadamente 6,000.
I'm a member of the church,
Miembros.
the San Francisco Church, located in La Quinta, with approximately 6,000 members.
A los 5 años, Jerry fue diagnosticado bajo el espectro autismo con un retraso de 2 años.
When he was 5 years old,
Por el
Yerick
distrito.
was diagnosed with, on the spectrum of autism, with a retraso. Trying to find a word for that, with a disability of being behind of about 2.8 years by the district.
En la actualidad, Jerry va en el DRA en el nivel 6 con un conocimiento de niños de 2 a 3 grados. He estado luchando en su nivel académico, sea respetado.
At this moment, Yerick is at level of about grado 6 o 6 años?
En grado 6,
About the
con
6th
nivel de
grade
conocimiento,
level,
segundo o tercer grado.
with about level 6, with the knowledge of a child who is in the 2nd or 3rd grade. And with a mom who has been fighting for his academic levels, that they would be respected.
El día 18 de enero se me reportó por un compañero de la escuela, Juan, que Jerry fue abusado sexualmente y bulleado por compañeros dentro de los locker rooms.
On the 18th of January, it was reported to me by a friend at school, whose name is Juan, that Yerick was abused sexually and was bullied by people at school in the locker rooms.
Este testigo, este testigo ocular lo reportó a la administración de la escuela con el señor Erasmo García.
And this witness, who was an eyewitness, reported what he saw to the administration of the school, and that person he reported to was Erasmo Garcia.
Mi familia ha pedido una investigación completa a lo que ocurrió en los lockers. Hasta este día no se me ha entregado una investigación completa.
My family and I have been asking for a complete investigation over what occurred in the lockers, but up to this moment, I have not been given the results of any investigation.
Se me informó que Jerry lo pusieron a bailar sin ropa porque se les hacía divertido cómo se movían sus lonjas y sus pechos, que están grandes porque el niño está gordo, y lo estaban tocando su cuerpo.
It was told to me that Yerrick was dancing or was made to dance naked, and that he was made to act like he was having fun with his chest showing, with his body showing, and since he's large, he was moving and everybody was touching his body.
Jerry sufrió un segundo incidente donde fue golpeado en la cara con una botella de agua el 24 de enero, sin entregar reporte de la escuela.
Yerrick also suffered a second incident in which he was struck in the face with a bottle of water on the 24th of January of this year, and yet no report was turned in.
Ese día le pedí al administrador un one-on-one para apoyar a Jerry con su seguridad, ya que él no cuenta con las habilidades de cuidarse a sí mismo por su autismo.
On that day, I requested that administration assign to him a one-on-one for support for his own security because he's not able to take care of himself.
Es del conocimiento del señor Jason Miller, director de Educación Especial, el superintendente Kelly Volmar, el director de la escuela DRA, Erasmo García y Bradley Sambambini.
Jason Miller, Director of Education, Special Education, Superintendent Kelly Volmer, and Director of the DRA School, Erasmo Garcias and Bradley Zambini, have knowledge of this information.
Jerry, por sus condiciones de autista, no reconoce las intenciones de alguien cuando son buenas y cuando son malas.
Because of his autism, Jerry is not aware when the intentions of a person are good or bad.
Mi preocupación es que Jerry está en negación de los abusos. No sé si porque está siendo amenazado por los estudiantes que cometieron el bullying y el que lo tocaron, el abuso.
I'm concerned that Yerrick is in denial because of the abuse that he has received, because he's being threatened by the students who committed those acts.
Actualmente Jerry está en casa, fue abusado sexualmente y golpeado en la escuela DRA.
Right now, Yerrick is at home because he was abused sexually and he was hit and struck at DRA school.
Ya que por su deshabilidad el niño no sabe distinguir entre la realidad y no conoce ni la fantasía para el agresor. Para él el agresor es su amigo.
Because of his
No
disability,
conoce, no sabe su nombre.
because of his disability as a child, he doesn't know how to distinguish between reality and fantasy, and he doesn't know if this aggressor of his friend, he really doesn't know his name.
En lo que a seguridad respecta, la escuela no está ofreciendo una adecuada para el niño. Como madre considero que la vida de Yerrick está en peligro después de los abusos cometidos en esta institución académica, por eso no lo mando hasta que prioricen su seguridad.
As respect to his security at the school, I believe the school is not offering sufficient security for him. As a child and as mom who considers Yerrick's life valuable but in danger after the abuses that have been committed against him, this academic institution is not giving the priority to his safety that is necessary.
Mi hijo Yerrick no sabe diferenciar entre el bien y el mal.
Yerrick does not know how to tell the difference between good and evil.
Cualquier persona que habla con él es su amigo.
Anybody who speaks to them, he considers them a friend.
Honestamente me siento discriminada porque son 5 años desde el diagnóstico de Yerick. Yerick fue se tiraron los líquidos dentro de un autobús. Yerick fue quemado de sus cosas, su mochila, tirándose los líquidos, ignorados.
I feel like
ignorado.
I'm being discriminated against as
El
a
primer
mom
día de clase-
because it's been 5 years since he was diagnosed with this condition, and he has had problems on a bus where he spilled liquid, but he's also suffered abuse on the bus as a result as well.
El primer día de clases, Jerry recibe un diploma con sus letras al revés y en cada esquina una orejas de burro.
On the first day of class, he received
El primer día
a
de clases.
certificate with the paper folded to look like a donkey, with the papers folded with the ears to look like a donkey, and people making fun of him.
¿Lo consideran adecuado para alguno de sus hijos?
Do you think this is appropriate for one of your children?
Por favor, les pido de la manera más atenta que trabajen al respecto para que mi niño pueda acudir con seguridad a la escuela.
So I'd ask you, from the bottom of my heart, would you please help Yerick receive the treatment that's respectful, that's due him?
Es un niño de 11 años, no es cualquier niño.
He's a
Es
child
mi
of
hijo.
12 años. He's a child of, he's an 11-year-old
Es
child,
mi hijo.
And
Ni
he's
uno
my
más
son.
debe de ser tocado, ni un niño más.
and he shouldn't be touched like that.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Mavomar, can we make sure that this is looked into tomorrow and be in touch with the parent? Our next public comment, we will also be allowing 6 minutes because of the request of an interpreter, is Veronica Juarez.
Let me just translate what you said to Dr. Vollmer. Comentó la presidente de la Junta que asigna a la doctora Vollmer a que investigue el caso cuanto antes pueda, empezando mañana mismo. Tienes que hablar aquí.
Buenas noches, respetables miembros de la mesa directiva.
Respectable members of the Board of Directors, good evening.
Mi nombre es Verónica, pertenezco a la Iglesia Sagrado Corazón, soy madre de un niño con discapacidad del desarrollo.
My name is Veronica. I belong to the Sacred Heart Church. I am a mother of a child with developmental disabilities.
Represento al grupo de apoyo psicoeducativo en el Valle de Coachella. Este grupo se inició hace más de 10 años. El grupo de apoyo cuenta con varios miembros y cada miembro pertenece a diferentes congregaciones e iglesias a través de todo California.
I represent the Psychoeducational Support Group in the Coachella Valley. This group was started more than 10 years ago. The support group has several members, and each member belongs to a different congregation and church throughout California.
Nuestra misión principal es educar, apoyar, escuchar las preocupaciones de la comunidad hispana que tenga un ser querido con discapacidad del desarrollo.
Our main mission is to educate, support, listen to the concerns of Hispanic community members that has a loved one with developmental disabilities.
Educamos sobre sus derechos y responsabilidades en todos los sistemas.
We educate about their rights and their responsibilities within all the systems.
También creamos ese puente entre los padres y las diferentes organizaciones que apoyan a las personas con discapacidad del desarrollo.
And we also create bridges between parents and the different organizations that support people with developmental disabilities.
Estoy aquí para apoyar a Rosario Valadez y a Yerick. Conozco a Yerick y a su familia por más de 7 años. Yerick es un niño noble de 11 años con autismo que por su discapacidad no sabe distinguir entre un amigo y alguien que le quiere hacer daño.
I'm here to support Rosario Valadez and Yerick. I've known Yerick and his family for more than 7 years. Yerick is 11 years old. He's a noble boy with autism who, due to his disability, does not know how to distinguish between a friend and someone who wants to harm him.
Las estadísticas muestran que las personas con discapacidad del desarrollo o discapacidad intelectual son el 99% más vulnerables a ser víctimas de abusos físicos y psicológicos.
Statistics show that people with developmental disabilities are 99% more vulnerable to being victims of physical and psychological abuse.
Estoy enterada de que Yeri ha sido víctima de bullying y de abuso físico y soy testiga de que Rosario, madre de Yeri, ha hecho todo lo posible para encontrar una solución para que Yeri permanezca en una escuela segura y terminar con el bullying y el abuso físico.
I'm aware that Yerik has been a victim of bullying and physical abuse, and I am a witness that Yerik's mother, Rosario, has done everything possible to find a solution for Yerik to remain in a safe school and end the bullying and physical abuse.
Hasta el momento, la escuela Desert Ridge no ha ofrecido un plan de seguridad y protección para Yerik.
To this date, Desert Ridge School has not offered a safety and protection plan for Yerik.
Y desde el 24 de enero, Yerik no ha recibido educación pública gratuita y apropiada.
And since January 24th of this year, Yerik has not received a free appropriate public education.
Lo que me hace pensar que este es un caso de discriminación por ser una familia hispana con una persona con discapacidad.
This makes me think that this is a case of discrimination because it involves a Hispanic family with a person with a disability.
Lo cual no es aceptable.
And this is not acceptable.
Por lo tanto, les pido por favor a ustedes, miembros de la mesa directiva, superintendente y a todas las personas responsables que tomen este asunto con seriedad y se hagan responsables para garantizar que Yeri regrese a la escuela a la cual tiene derecho y reciba una educación pública gratuita y apropiada y se garantice la seguridad de Yeri dentro de la escuela.
So that I'm asking you as members of the board and the directors, the superintendent, and all persons involved to take this matter seriously, take the responsibility upon yourselves to ensure that Yerik returns to the school to which he's entitled, that he receives a free and public education and appropriate and ensure that is appropriate and ensure Yerik's safety within the school.
Estoy en contacto con diferentes organizaciones como Derechos de las Personas con Discapacidad en California, el Consejo Estatal sobre las Discapacidades del Desarrollo y con el congresista Dr. Ruiz para juntos garantizar los derechos humanos y los derechos civiles del estudiante Yerik.
I'm in contact with different organizations such as Disability Rights California, State Council on Developmental Disabilities, and Congressman Dr. Ruiz, and together guarantee, for the purpose of together guaranteeing the human rights and civil rights of Yerik as a student.
Espero una respuesta positiva de parte de ustedes, los encargados de garantizar la seguridad y el bienestar de todos los estudiantes, incluidos los estudiantes con discapacidad del desarrollo.
I look forward to a positive response from those of you who are responsible for ensuring the safety and well-being of all students, including students with developmental disabilities.
Por favor, les pido que mi comentario quede escrito en las notas.
I
Gracias.
ask you to please record my comment in your notes. Thank you.
Okay, our next public comments will all be back to our 3-minute time limit. Next is Marisol Munal.
Hello, everyone. My name is Marisol Munoz, and I am also a mother of a special needs student. This is my first time here. I've been invited by friends to come witness what is happening and how you guys approve and listen to our complaints and or disapprovals. If it was something great, you'd be getting a thank you letter from me. But I also have a child with special needs now.
Can you talk into the
elementary.
microphone?
In elementary, and I just wanted to bring to your attention that I'm starting to fear that there might be discrimination going on. For the last 3 years, I've been asking for certain things to happen in my IEP for in my daughter's IEP, and to also get the services she needs. And I noticed that it's not until I file a complaint with the state, the education board, that forgive me if I don't say the words correctly, but I know my message is coming across correctly. It's not until I file a complaint that she gets the services we're asking for her. the services she's entitled to. And I don't think that's right. So by the time she actually gets these, a lot of time has passed, and she starts getting further behind in her academics. And I don't think these IEP processes need to be delayed as much as they've been. 3 years seems unjust. And I'm also here to support Yerik. My daughter will be attending that same school in less than 2 years. And I want to make sure that she's safe, as any parent would want. And I leave that in your hands. Thank you for listening.
Next, we have Mara Rodales.
This one, right? Good evening, members of the board. I first want to thank you for allowing us to be here today and bring our concerns and public comments. And I also want to thank the public for listening. I first want to, my name is Maura Raudales. I'm resident of the city of Indio. I'm an active member of my community. I also belong to different groups throughout the state. And what we do is we educate parents with their educational rights, for special education, with any other entities as regional centers, and anything across education. I'm very active. I'm a very active member of my community. I go to public comments to the state of California for just different issues concerning our community or wherever it's going on. We get a group of parents and we go to the Sacramento and we share our public comments. I also want to thank you and take this opportunity to thank you in person for allowing our church, the Garden Fellowship, for outreaching the children in the Shadow Hills High School. That's very valuable and appreciated. So in the name of the church, I just want to thank all of you for allowing and opening those doors to the young people. But I'm also here to express another concern regarding bullying and abuse by not only students, but administrators within the district. My family personally, when the time our son was in the school district, he suffered from number and multiple incidents of bullying and abuse. I reached out to superintendent at that time, Mr. Scott Bailey, Tara Alford, director of special ed, administrator of the school, Tiffany Norton, and many other people around. Why? Because as a parent, you want to make sure that your child is safe. When the child is on the school grounds, it's the school responsibility to provide that safety and reassure the parent that when I'm dropping off my son at the door, he's going to be safe. Every day, it was a fear that he was not going to be safe. So I'm also here to ask that you support Mrs. Valadez and Jerick. I'm also here to propose to each one of you that we can sit together in a meeting with the people from our groups and create a safety plan and action plans that allows administrators and also that is going to provide parents the peace that their students are going to come to your school grounds and they're going to be safe. So I will provide my information if you allow me to, and you guys can contact us and we can create and form a meeting because we want to work together. That's what we're here for, because we want to help you. If we need to go knock doors with the state assembly, we want to knock doors with the city council, we would do that because that's what we are for. I'm concerned about my community. I also want to share, if you allow me a couple more seconds, another concern that as a big group we have been listening over and over, and it's about a specific administrator from the school district that is not only costing the school district money with trying to resolve disputes between the families and parents, but it's also costing the school district bad reputation. But it's also costing the families that their processes get delayed in their IEPs, and as a consequence, this student is not receiving what is FAPE. The name of the person is Mr. Pedro Mercado, Program Specialist of the Special Ed Department. And we do have many families where he has not been responding. I would request that his performance is close monitor and review and maybe reconsider his position because he's really causing trouble to a lot of families within the district.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Can you provide
Next, we have Matthew Luna.
This one right here? Good evening, members of the board and public members. My name is Matthew Luna. I live in the city of North Inyo with my family. I'm also a former student from this district. I as well suffered from bullying and abuse, not only by other students, but my ex-teacher, Mrs. Paitel, too. My parents wrote numbers of letters, emails, complaints, asking for support to provide safety for myself while I was at school. My parents and I felt my safety was at risk since the moment I walked into the school. Mr. Scott Bailey, you were one of the people of my parents reached out for help without being successful. I'm here to ask you today, as victim of bullying, to please help Eric and his family and all the other families who are facing a similar situation in this district. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Michelle Velez. Okay, thank you. That concludes public comments. 14, information. Shadow Hills High School girls wrestling team participation in California Interscholastic Federation State Tournament in Bakersfield, California from February 21st to 25th, 2024. Indio High School Institute of Media Production Arts and Creative Technologies participation in the DECA state competition in Anaheim, California from March 7th to 10th, 2024. Palm Desert High School boys golf team participation at the De La Salle golf tournaments in Seaside, California from March 8th to 12th, 2024. Palm Desert High School Dance and Theater Pathway students field trip to New York from March 12th to 16th, 2024. Indio High School varsity softball team trip to Honolulu, Hawaii from March 31st to April 7th, 2024. Palm Desert Charter Middle School varsity color guard participation in the Winter Guard International Championship in Dayton, Ohio from April 9th to 14th, 2024. Head Start program reports for October, November, and December 2023. Audited financial statements 2022 to 2023. And financial and performance audits for the Building Fund Measure KK. Staff conference items, Dr. Mae Volmar.
Yes, thank you. Our first staff conference item this evening is our Shadow Hills High School ASB report, and I'll turn that over to our student board member.
Okay. At Shadow Hills High School, our achievements, spirit, and enthusiasm demonstrates what it means to be a part of a spectacular school community. From sports to clubs, Shadow Hills offers it all and doesn't disappoint with results. In this video, you'll see the Knights community participating in various activities such as pep rallies, cheering on their peers at sporting events, fundraisers, and lunchtime activities in the quad. Shadow Hills sports have made a mark on the record books with our girls cross country team making it to CIF as state finalists. In addition, girls wrestling, girls tennis, boys soccer, and girls basketball have all advanced to CIF, and we look forward to supporting them in their future endeavors. Our cheerleading squad will be performing at nationals, representing the dedication and talent that defines our school. Meanwhile, our dance team's stellar performances in sharp competition, securing both first and third positions, showcase the artistic abilities that exist within our school. Yet, Shadow Hills extends far beyond competitive events. Our quarterly rallies are full of school spirit, uniting students in a shared sense of enthusiasm. Signature events like the Turkey Bowl and Powder Puff Games bring together the entire student body in a friendly, spirited competition. This past week, our junior and senior girls competed in the annual Powder Puff Game, which ended in a tie. Beyond the realm of fun and games, our commitment to giving back to the community stands out. Initiatives like the Toys for Tots fundraising, sock drives, and blood drives exemplify our dedication to making a positive impact beyond just our school campus. These endeavors not only embody our values, but also instill a sense of responsibility and compassion in every student. Furthering the dedication to excel, our Knights involve themselves in rigorous courses, pushing themselves to succeed. Shadow Hills offers both dual enrollment and AP courses to allow students the opportunity to choose. Dual enrollment classes such as history and English provide college-level rigor and immediately give students college credit that follows them after high school, while AP courses let students measure their success and learning with an end-of-year exam, building up their knowledge throughout the year. Electives such as AP Psychology, AP Art, and AP Spanish Language and Literature encourage students to challenge themselves beyond just the core curriculum and explore other interests. All in all, Shadow Hills High School is more than just a place of learning. It's a thriving community where achievements both on and off the field are celebrated. Our culture is not merely a collection of events, but a living, breathing testament to the diverse talents, passions, and values that shape the unique spirit of our school. I hope you enjoyed the video. Okay, and then for the next, thank you. For the next part of the report, we will be playing a little game, and I do need to be down there. It is Shadow Hills High School Jeopardy! Okay, who would like to go first? We have our categories up there.
What, are we picking the first one?
Yes, pick a category and a
Okay,
number.
staff and faculty for 100, please.
Who is the current Shadow Hills High School principal?
Oh, that's Dr. Dunn.
That is correct. Okay, pick another one.
I'm going to go with sports for 200.
Which sports team has student athletes with the highest GPAs?
Go ahead if you know it. Yeah, don't.
I think it's track or cross country.
Ooh, that is incorrect.
Really?
Yes, I'm so sorry.
Wrestling?
No. Any other guesses?
I know I've seen it on, because I get 1,000 emails, and I'm thinking hard, and I know they were here. No, weren't they?
The team from Shadow Hills.
No, but that was cross country though, but it's not now. It's not my team. I don't think.
The correct
No, I don't
answer
remember.
is
I'm gonna say I think it's baseball.
wrong. It's tennis with an average of 4.2.
I said tennis.
Who would like to go next?
Big money, big money.
Okay, the Hills history for 100.
When did Shadow Hills High School open?
Call a friend, Dr. Wood.
Go ahead.
2007.
2007.
No, 2009.
Oh, 2009?
Come on.
That is correct. August 31st, 2009.
That's when they cut the ribbon. I thought that was opening day.
Please don't get this one. Oh, you did. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Hills of history.
Pick another one.
Okay, for 200. Hills history for 200.
Who was the second principal of Shadow Hills High School?
The worst one?
Oh no, he's sitting right up here.
Just kidding, just kidding.
That is correct. Okay, go for another one.
Okay, we'll do Hills history for 300. Go big. Go big or go
What
home.
music video features the Shadow Hills High School band?
I do not know. Do you know?
Should we call on the audience?
One Direction.
That was just on?
What?
But
It
the
was gonna
music
say what
video.
Drake played, wasn't it? Drake played?
No.
What's the other direction?
No.
One Direction.
One Direction?
Steal My
It
Girl.
is Steal My Girl by One Direction. Okay, pick another one.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let Beto do it.
Yeah,
Go down the
Beto, go
line.
ahead.
Staff and faculty for 300.
Oh, that is the wrong. Give me one
The
second.
Dungeon.
Oh. How many staff couples does Shadow Hills High School have? Like we have like the Mr. and the
Okay,
Mrs.
like with the license and all that, right?
Why, you know that difference anyway?
I'd say 4.
That is incorrect. It is 3, but very close.
Don't know about the other one coming out.
All right. Who's next?
Nightlife for 100?
What is the Shadow Hills student section called?
Dungeon.
The Dungeon.
That is correct.
Oh, that is appropriate. Okay. Do I pick another one?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, Nightlife for 200.
What is Shadow Hills' rivalry football game called?
Indio High School.
Indio High School, it's
Mayor's
the
Cup.
Mayor's
That is
Mayor's
correct,
Cup.
the Mayor's
That's
Cup.
right. That's
Oh,
right.
we're all allowed to help each other, huh?
Oh, sorry.
Okay, Nightlife for 300.
That is not the right one.
A lot of Dungeon.
What was Shadow Hills' homecoming theme this year?
Benson.
I'm looking for them to cheat for me, but it's not working.
Mystery or something? Oh, fantasy? Like a fantasy or something?
That
They're spelling it out for you.
to run it over.
Okay, do the first letter, and then the second, third.
How many syllables?
user-
No, just kidding.
Las Vegas.
Yes,
Las
Las
Vegas.
Vegas, a night in
was
Vegas.
Vegas.
Vegas?
They get it,
Casino
they get it.
night, Las Vegas.
Yes, a night in Vegas.
Okay, it's Kylie's turn.
What's left?
We have
We have sports, I think.
nightly knowledge and sports for 300 and 100.
Nightly knowledge for 300.
For 300.
Marcus.
What percentage of Shadow Hills' students are taking dual enrollment or AP courses?
Dr. Dunn know that? Just hold up your fingers.
Do I hear 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45?
None of those. Close.
43.
Close.
44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49,
47%.
That's great.
Okay, go for another one.
50. Okay, nightly knowledge 200.
How many AP courses does Shadow Hills offer?
Anyone?
Kaiden, that is the
12.
wrong
12.
answer.
12.
No, incorrect.
17.
That is correct.
Nobody. I know these answers.
Okay, we have nightly knowledge for 100.
That one.
That one? Okay. What is the Shadow Hills High School band called?
And? First period band?
Not the Knights, no?
The Knights.
No.
That's what I.
It's a very unique name.
The Dungeons? No.
The round table.
Would you like the answer revealed?
Yeah,
What
we
does it
don't
start
know.
with?
We give
Can
up.
we phone a friend, Dr.
Yes.
Dunn?
Phone a friend.
Phone a friend.
Oh.
Marcus
phone a
Wood
friend,
named,
Dr. Wood.
Marcus Wood named him. Dr. Wood, you named him and you don't remember.
Are any of you guys in the band?
America's right behind the pool, but I don't know.
Regiment of the
Regiment
Realm.
of the Realm. There you go.
See how good I am?
Good.
Come on, we're guessing.
Okay, I think we have Sports 100.
Okay, sports.
Where is Shadow Hills cheer team competing for nationals?
Hawaii.
Hawaii?
Honolulu.
Vegas,
No, that's
Las
the wrong
Vegas.
team.
No, that's Indio.
Ohio.
Jersey?
Oh, Disney.
Walt Disney World.
Anaheim. Oh, Disney
Anaheim
World.
Convention Center. Good
Oh,
job.
Anaheim.
That's
Okay.
close by.
Sites that we visit, it's a huge process. It takes almost a full year to get through it, varying times of the year. And it's just a very, it makes our job easier when your district performs the way it does. Everybody's very responsive to our questions. So I appreciate that. Questions on your audit?
None, thank you.
For the good report, I have none.
And thank you.
Yeah, I didn't know if you wanted to introduce it or. Okay, I'll go ahead and do it. We also have Measure KK, and we do a financial and performance audit every year. I was sharing with Mr. Aquino before the meeting, I was actually a resident of Palm Desert back in 1996 through 2002. My kids attended Carter Elementary, and I remember the bond years ago. And now the school had just been modernized, so time has certainly flown. This is actually my last year as working for the firm. I'm retiring this year. So I've seen bonds over the years, and the district has always had great results with its bonds and its performance as far as meeting the spirit of the election ballot, making sure that everything was spent in accordance with that. And you see the schools in the area as you drive around, and certainly those dollars were put to good use, and we are tasked with auditing those dollars. We reviewed last year 51% of the total expenditures and found no issues with any of the expenditures in our performance audit.
I have no questions, thank you.
None.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's always been a pleasure.
Have a nice retirement.
Thank you.
As we pulled the college and career indicator presentation for this evening, I'll turn it over to Dr. Wood with our local control accountability mid-year.
Right. Well, good evening, everyone. I'd like to introduce Ms. Gabby Yamas, who is our LCAP coordinator, and she will be presenting on our mid-year LCAP report. Ms. Yamas.
Thank you. Good evening, trustees and cabinet members. Tonight, I will be presenting the mid-year local control accountability plan update. The LCAP is a tool for local educational agencies to set goals, plan actions, and leverage resources to meet district goals to improve student outcomes. We set these goals to meet the needs of our student population through the lens of our vision, mission, and values. Our vision: to be the district of choice and successfully prepare every student for college, career, and life. Our mission: to inspire and nurture every student, one opportunity at a time, is how we want to reach our destination. And our values, which are the behaviors and expectations we have for ourselves, our staff, and our students. You each have a hard copy of the LCAP plan as well as our condensed version that we call our infographic page. We've updated our LCAP website to make it more convenient for our community to find the document and the infographics. We also have a tab for Spanish, for our Spanish translation of our LCAP document and related information. The LCAP document includes a budget overview, an overall plan summary, a section on how we have engaged our educational partners, and information on each of our 4 goals, which includes metrics, actions, and a goal analysis. This year, we will be reporting our year 3 outcome in our annual update at the end of the school year. Our LCAP also includes a section on increased or improved services for our unduplicated students, an expenditure table that breaks down goals and actions, as well as a copy of our infographic document. Here is an example of how to read an action item. The first 2 columns include the action number and title. In this case, we are looking at highly qualified staff. The third column is the description, which can include as little as 1 or as many as 9 different actions and services. The next column is the total funds allocated for the actions. These funds are further explained as non-personnel expenditures or personnel expenditures, as well as the type of funding. As you can see in this visual, the LCAP also documents other types of funding received by our district where applicable. The last column indicates whether or not the action is contributing to increased or improved services for our English learners, foster youth, and low-income students. As mentioned previously, our LCAP goals directly support DSUSD's vision and mission. Goal 1 addresses students demonstrating growth as measured by federal, state, and district assessments. Goal 2 focuses on college and career opportunities. Goal 3 addresses safe, secure, and positive learning environments. And Goal 4, which supports the educational journey of students with disabilities and their transition to college, career, and life. The state of California has identified 8 priorities for improving student outcomes that must be addressed in the LCAP. Each of our 4 goals are directly aligned to all 8 priorities. As seen here, there are many educational partner groups that contribute to the process of reflecting on and establishing priorities that are captured in the LCAP, such as advisory committees, parent committees, school, site, and district leaders, and of course, our students. Details regarding this process can be found in the section Engaging Educational Partners, which is in pages 22 to 29, and includes summaries of the process and aspects of the LCAP that were influenced by specific feedback. DSUSD uses Thought Exchange as a platform tool to gather feedback from our educational partners. This year, we captured feedback from Goal 1 in December, Goal 2 and 4 in January, and we are currently gathering or engaging our community around Goal 3, and this survey is scheduled to end on February 23rd. This slide shows the number of community members who have participated in each of our Thought Exchange surveys this year. As you can see, we have been increasing our participation with each of our surveys. While providing this mid-year update, some LCAP actions have not yet started, some are in progress, and some have been completed. An update of LCAP actions will be shared with expenditures on the following slides. The success of Goal 1 is supported by 9 action areas, as you can see here. For each goal, we have included an expenditure table. In the first column, we have our action title. Second column is the total funds that were budgeted in our LCAP for that action. And the third column is the year-to-date expenditures for the item. 3 actions have been completed and the rest are in progress for Goal 1. In this slide, I want to note that for Action 1.2, we are very close to our budget. We will be using other funding sources as we finish out our school year. In 1.3 instructional materials, our expenditures show that we are overspent. The budget was originally created based on projections available at the time the LCAP was written. The difference in spending will be covered by our LCFF base and lottery allocation, which will help balance out the expenditures at the end of the year. Action 1.8 is the funding that is given to each of our schools, and we see progress in the spending for this point in the school year. This evening, I'll give highlights for each of our goals. In each of our highlight slides, you will see actions listed with the board priority that they connect to, highlighted in red. Here are the highlights that we want to share from Goal 1. In Benchmark ELD, we provided professional development in both designated and integrated English language development for teachers, administrators, and other school-based personnel. We're also excited to offer, once again, a summer language academy for newcomers in elementary, middle school, and high school. We hired 3 early literacy coaches to support our elementary schools with the highest unduplicated count. And we also hired 2 project facilitators that focus on early literacy strategies. They provide professional development as well as support and coaching for our educators and our administrators. Foundation planners were purchased for all kinder through 2nd grade educators. Our teachers received training in the use of planners. Using the foundation planners is helping us create a common language for instructional routines and best practices that are grounded in the science of reading. We are enhancing our Universal Interventions program by providing M-Class for our students kinder through 2nd grade and phonics for reading in grades 3rd through 5th. There are 4 action areas associated with Goal 2. These are the expenditures for Goal 2. 1 action has been completed and the rest are currently in progress. I want to note that we are on track with spending with all of our actions. Action 2.2 represents the year-to-date spending in our DLI program and its expansion. This visual shows that the certifications offered in our career and technical program, as well as college credit courses that we offer. We want to celebrate that a total of 25 CTE pathways are offered with 62 certifications and 32 college credit courses. Goal 3 has 9 action areas. Here are our expenditures year to date for Goal 3. We have 2 actions that have not started yet because they take place in later part of 2nd semester. Actions 3.3 and 3.9 include salary positions, and the year-to-date expenditures only reflect encumbrances. The recent salary increases and benefits will show on our annual update. For Actions 3.10, we used one-time COVID funds to cover this expense. Next, I would like to provide some highlights under Goal 3. We hired bilingual community technicians who are providing ongoing intensive supports to families of students that are facing significant barriers to regular school attendance. We have a representative from each school site who is receiving district training and support to build a multi-tiered intervention plan to reduce chronic absenteeism at each of our school sites. And we have full-time therapists that have been assigned to each of our secondary school sites and part-time therapists that were assigned to elementary schools to provide Tier 3 mental health services.
I have a question on those. On 3.9. Can you go back a slide? Oh, one more, please. Yes, right there. You said that on 3.10 you guys use COVID funds. At what point did we know that we were going to use COVID funds? And so, because we allocated money to that, right? So, at what point do we interject there?
I can help answer that. So, part of our sustainability planning was when we had COVID funds, we knew that at the end of the day, we made a conscientious choice to add back our custodians to the school sites to help mitigate the impact of COVID. But ultimately, by doing that, the district would need a sustainability plan to maintain that staffing level moving beyond COVID funding. And so this item here basically maintains the ability to keep that staffing at that level because we long-term projected that we were going to have funds available to maintain those positions.
And to then roll over these funds to use next year? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so we're at the last year of COVID funds, which is ESSER 3. So that ends officially September 2024. We're planning on spending all of it by the close of this fiscal year for purposes of, just getting everything off the books by June. And then the funding that we had allocated in the COVID relief funding, that one-time funding that was provided by the state, those expenditures or those custodians that we added to our elementary sites, I believe that was 4 hours a piece, will be added to this LCAP item.
The question is, he understands that it's a placeholder that we'll need in the future, but are you going to roll over that money that's in there, or what's happening with it?
Yeah, so it's a way that we are being transparent with the intent of those funds. So that is just a way to clearly show that that is our intent for the use of those funds. So those funds will roll over into the next year with the purpose for maintaining our custodial staff.
Can you roll over that money? It's just strictly that $2 million, or are you going to augment that by the next budget, making it, for example, $4 million? So you're just rolling over $2 million, yes, and just allocating that. Correct. And my concern, my concern is that we're allocating money as a placeholder, but we're not utilizing those funds as intended that year.
So, from a technical aspect, that's correct. And when what happens is that money falls out at the end of the year, and then when we do our LCAP planning, we identify one-time uses for those funds, and the board takes action to reserve those funds for purposes of the LCAP. So at the end of the year, I present to you a resolution that gives you the ability to reserve funds for two separate reasons. One is to maintain our reserves at a 10% based on where the state is with their budget. And then another resolution that you approve is the reservation of unspent local control or supplemental concentration funding. So that ultimately, when you make that reservation, you are telling the public that those funds need to be utilized for purposes identified in the supplemental concentration planning document.
You know how when we were on the LCAP Goal 1 in 1.2 and 1.3, when we were over budget, and she said we used our library fund, lottery money and something else. In this year, why couldn't that 2 million, since we didn't need to, I mean, you know you're gonna have it already set out for next year, but why couldn't that have been moved over to cover, like, because I could see if we've already spent 9 million, almost our whole budget for professional development, and we still have months to go that more will be happening, we will probably end up being over budget on that as well. Why can't we cover it like? Reallocate it. Yes.
Technically, you could do that. It's probably more of a lengthy, complicated conversation, but yes, to answer your question, yes, we could do that.
Under this long, it's probably a good idea, like after the first section, we'll stop and ask any questions then. Because then you lose your questions by the time you get to the end. So on 3.9, when we look at supporting the needs of our unduplicated count, that's where our district gets a good chunk of money from our unduplicated account. Yet we see only 665,000 allocated to that. And then when I read the items, it's funding a couple of positions, the LCAP coordinator, the multilingual coordinator, office technician. How do we make that more meatier, more meaningful by inserting action items that are actually supporting direct support to our unduplicated account? So just things to consider as we're creating the new LCAP. So just a note to self. And then I've shared in previous meetings, just be more transparent when we allocate funds to any action item. You just put it on top as a header, and then you list some action items, but there's no funding attached to that for transparency purposes. So that's just a side note for future LCAPs that come along. If we can make sure we note how much money is allocated to each of the action items supporting, for example, 3.9, 3.10, or any action item for transparency.
Thank you. It's been noted. Thanks. May I continue?
And if I could just highlight
Yes.
one thing, I would just like to clarify that this is supporting our unduplicated students under Goal 3. It's not all of the supports that we provide to those students. Those are just the ones identified under Goal 3. So they're under other supports under the other goals.
Okay. Goal 4 has 4 action areas. This goal was created to support our students with disabilities. In our LCAP, we document all targeted support to students as well as other district funding. Here are our expenditures year-to-date for Goal 4. Under 4.1 Professional Development, the expenditure year-to-date covered the AVID Summer Institute and Professional Learning Community Training for our special education staff. The items where you see a 0 in expenditure are items that were carried out in-house without expense. Next, I would like to provide some quick highlights under Goal 4. Special education staff from across the district attended AVID Summer Institute to learn AVID-based interventions. 4 days of dedicated professional development for special education paraeducators focused on inclusive practices. Our special education teachers, school psychologists, administrators, and over 300 paraeducators are now trained in behavior intervention and de-escalation strategies utilizing mindset crisis management techniques. And finally, we want to acknowledge and sincerely thank the hard work and dedication of our employees, the support of our parents and community, and the resilience of our students as we continue to strive for excellence each day. Thank you. Do we have any questions?
None at this time. Thank you for your report.
Oh, no, I don't have any. I don't believe I did. I took some notes as you were going through, and I just wanted to compliment you on the AVID events. I was talking with our student board member about those things, and while not everybody utilizes them, they are a supportive aspect of our school climate and our culture, so I like those a lot. I always love the improved school attendance. It's a big thing for me. I mean, if you're not there, you can't learn, right? That's one thing. And then I took another note I just wanted to share. I thought was good there. I mean, of course, I love the mindset stuff. And the paraeducator boot camp, I think that really is an important component too. I really like that, including paras they're such an integral part of our students' daily lives for many of our students, and I think we hear that so often and sometimes, and I never want to say, but the unsung sometimes heroes of sometimes the world that we all operate in. So I'm just happy to see them acknowledged and that there's funding and there's some appreciation that's given out to the parents for this in our district. But thank you so much for your presentation. It was very thorough, and I enjoy the follow-up. And I see the dates are coming up for, I guess, the next one here in February. Is that correct? Yeah. So
Thank you.
thank you.
I have no questions. Thank you.
I just want to say thank you because I know that this takes it's a lot of work, right? Aligning everyone's schedules to meet with everyone and get this document up and running. And so I know it's quite intensive. So I just want to thank Cabinet, our superintendent, and everyone for making this work with you. So appreciate that.
None. General Functions Business Services. There are 2 items in General Functions Business Services. Is there a motion to take these items as a group or individually?
Take them as a group.
Linda, is there a second? Second. Any discussion? Hearing none.
I just want to say real quick, I'm excited about the La Quinta High School softball field. We were there at the high school and saw them working on it. It was really, really great to see that. So it should be done by the end of the month. So
I did have a question on the side letter for the police services. So, we have sheriffs at most high schools. Are the Indio police at the Indio city, like Jefferson and whatever, Shadow Hills, Indio High? Okay, and then there was that period that they weren't covered at all, so we're doing that to December of 23, but then is there a new thing that we already approved for the new period of time? Not yet? Oh, that'll be coming up?
Yeah, so this contract covers just this half of this school year, and we are in conversations with what the contract is going to look like moving forward.
Calls for the question, preferential vote.
Aye.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 5-0 with 1 preferential vote. 18, General Functions Educational Services. There are 3 items in General Functions Educational Services. Is there a motion to take these as a group?
Motion to take them as a group.
Second, Pierce.
Any discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question, preferential vote.
Aye.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 5-0 with 1 preferential vote. 19, General Functions Personnel Services, there are none. 20, General Functions Student Support Services, there are none. 21, General Functions Superintendent, there are none. 22, Consent Items, Student Matters, Dr. May Volmar.
You. Tonight in closed session, the board took action to approve the following student matters under agenda item 3.1. Stipulated expulsion 23/24-13 on a motion made by trustee Alvarez, seconded by trustee Duran. The motion carried 5-0 with the board accepting the recommendation of the stipulated expulsion. Stipulated expulsion case number 23/24-16 on a motion made by trustee Porras, seconded by trustee Dr. Watson. The motion carried 4-0 with trustee Duran voting no. The board modified the recommendation of the stipulated expulsion order to a suspended enforcement.
Thank you. 23, Consent Items, Business Services. There are 6 items in General Functions Business Services. Is there a motion to take these as a group or individually?
So moved as a group.
Is there a second?
Second, Pierce.
Any discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question, preferential vote.
Aye.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 5-0 with one preferential vote. 24, consent items, educational services. There are 6 items in general functions, educational services. Is there a motion to take these as a group or individually?
Motion to take them as a group.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question, preferential vote.
Aye.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 5-0 with one preferential vote. 25, consent items, personnel services. There are none. 26, consent items, student support services. There are 5 consent items in student support services. Is there a motion to take these as a group or individually?
Motion to take them as a group.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
I'd just like to say, I like the heart and soul yoga thing. I thought that was kind of new. Was that the first time, or tell me? I don't know. I don't have a recollection of something, but I could be wrong.
Well, we're building it into different parent workshops we have because we're looking at, of course, mental health across the board. So we know that parents could use some meditation and mental health themselves. So we're doing some self-care, building it into our parent workshops.
Okay. No, I really enjoyed it. I really looked at that, and I said that really goes to thinking outside the box and being, building relationships in a way that's meaningful, I think, and longer lasting than oftentimes what we do before. So kudos to you and all those that were a part of that. I like that. Thank you.
Okay, calls for the question, preferential vote.
Aye.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 5-0 with one preferential vote. 27, consent items, superintendent. There are none. 28, personnel action certificated. Dr. Hyde, do we have any retirements?
Actually, we do. We have one to announce, and that is William Estep at Summit High School, who's retiring after 26 years of service to the district. So kudos.
Yeah, I'd just like to say I was at Indio when he started there. I remember Bill. He's a great guy, coached baseball, always a fan favorite of the students. I'd like to tell you, I never saw that guy. I mean, he had that perfect demeanor, that perfect lesson all the time. I thought he was just the consummate professional. And when I saw his name, I was really sad to see Estep. I mean, I thought, like, really? I said, you're young. But I wish him all the best, and just a fabulous individual, and he'll sorely be missed at the high school. Thank you for informing us.
Since this is a personnel item, our student board member will not be voting. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? I would like to also say congratulations to Mr. Estep. His wife was actually my kindergarten teacher, and they've been patient since, and I just saw them last week. But now we have his daughter, who I think will be equally as great of a teacher, if not maybe better, teaching at, that was the teacher that we went into at Madison. Calls for the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 5-0. 29, personnel actions classified. Dr. Hyde, do we have any retirements?
We do. We have 2 retirements. The first is Catherine Karstens, who's a paraeducator in the theater specialist program at Indio High School. She's retiring after 20 years of service. And then Marie Joseph Van Leet at Shadow Hills High School, a paraeducator special education, is retiring after 18 years of service. These 2 employees, 38 combined years of service to the district, so congratulations to them both.
Since this is a personnel item, our student board member will not be voting. Is there a motion?
So moved, Linda Porras.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
I just want to say congratulations and for making it to the finish line. Have a nice retirement.
Calls for the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 5-0. Call out for closed session actions. Dr. May Volmar.
Yes, tonight in closed session, the board took action under item 3.2 to approve the general release and settlement agreement SSS number 10/2023-2024 on a motion made by Trustee Pierce, seconded by Trustee Duran. The motion carried 4-1. Item 3.3, General Release and Settlement Agreement, SSS number 11/2023-2024, on a motion made by Trustee Duran, seconded by Trustee Pierce. The motion carried 5-0. And tonight in closed session, the board approved the following appointments of the following individuals. Certificated management recommendation, Joshua Alvarez to the position of assistant principal at Indio High School, and classified management recommendation of Rocio Hernandez to the position of mental health therapist. This passed on a motion made by Trustee Porras, seconded by Trustee Duran, and it was a unanimous vote.
Suggestions for future agendas that receive at least 3 votes. Ms. Ragland?
No suggestions at this time. Thank you.
Mr. Duran?
I'm not sure it'd be an agenda item, but definitely I'm going to say that it's going to need some attention. So it's been brought to my attention that the schedule for the sports next year in 2025 will not match up with one of our neighboring districts. So since that neighboring district that I might know a little bit about is off for 2 weeks, and then we would be off for 1 after their 2, that would be 3 weeks that students would not be, they would be on vacation basically. And I could say as a coach, it would be difficult to, well, it'd be impossible probably to schedule games. So that's going to happen in 2025. It's been brought to my attention by coaching staff, so I thought that I'd bring that forward, just so we're at least ahead of the game on it. I don't know what we can do, but...
Just would certainly clarifying question, which vacations are we talking, winter break or spring break?
Spring break.
Spring break.
Okay, spring break, yeah, it would be spring. Yeah, that's when Palm Springs has 2 weeks off and we have 1. And so, yeah. The other one, we have 2 and they have 3. So that's, right, so that's one of the things. And then I want to take this moment too also to compliment Jordan and of course the superintendent and the staff that was over with us the other day at the City 2x2. I will say it was a very difficult, I thought, conversation. It has to do with our school resource officers, and I thought you guys did a marvelous job. I want to thank you on that, the numbers that they had. I still think that I, for one, want to continue some dialogue there because I do believe we just have to have that relationship that we need. And on both sides, without get into it, but I think that we did excellent, and I just wanted to commend you guys on a fabulous job there. And I know it's everybody's got budget constraints. Everybody's got recruiting constraints. Everybody's got, putting people in the seats, kind of thing. But you guys, our team was there. Their team was there too, but I think we needed to get a little bit more in collaboration with them, and I'd be happy to be a point person in anything that we do with them. Thank you.
I have no suggestions.
Mr. Alvarez?
Not an agenda item, but can we get a Friday update on our public comments today and, some details about what's going on?
I echo that, and I already heard Madam President ask that we get right on that and really details on how it got this far in this condition. But I appreciate the parents and coming forward and letting us know.
I agree. And I know that is, as a parent, not something I ever want to hear about my kid. And I know it takes a lot of courage to come out and talk in public and say the things that you said. So I know Dr. Mabel will be on top of that. Announcements. The next regularly scheduled board meeting of the Board of Education will be February 20th, 2024 in the District Education Boardroom, 47950 Dune Palms Road, La Quinta, California, 92253. We do not need to reconvene to close session. This meeting is adjourned at 8:34.